Welcome, campers.
We're going to have a lot of fun this summer. I'm Counselor Jazz.
I'm Counselor Craig.
And this doesn't matter. This is a show where my good buddy Craig and I watch a bunch of shitty movies, and in the process of watching the shitty movies, we define them all as a microgenre, and we use tropes to figure out what ties them all together. We're going to drink a bunch of beers, we're going to talk about it, you're going to have a great time.
Hop on this carnage canoe with us while we talk about Summer Camp Horror.
Craig, Summer Camp Horror seems like a complicated name, but what's it all about?
Check it out. It's not that complicated.
Okay.
It's about horrific killings taking place at a summer camp. It's kind of all in the name. This is a deep and complex microgenre, well established, well known, and beloved. How do we understand it, though?
The best thing you can possibly do to get your head around a microgenre is to cast your mind back. You can go back as far as films like Psycho and see sort of an ersatz slasher. And then you had Italian films like Blood and Black Lace and Bay of Blood, which had sort of masked psycho killers. And then you move forward a little bit, you get your Texas Chainsaw Massacres, and then, Craig,
you get Halloween. It's one of the most successful independent films ever made. It's about a mass killer who chases teens around, stabbing them and killing them. It kind of starts to set off the slasher craze, right? And that leads us right into Summer Camp Horror. See on the other side.
Simona. Craig,
Jazz.
what are some of the films we watch for Summer Camp Horror?
We watch a shit ton. There's a lot in this microgenre. We started with Friday the 13th, obviously, from 1980.
And then kicking off a banner year for Summer Camp Horror, you have Madman, 1981.
Also, same year, banner year for Summer Camp Horror, 1981, you get The Burning.
And then one more in 81, you get Friday the 13th 2.
But wait, there's more. We watched Sleepaway Camp from 1983.
And then Twisted Nightmare from 1987.
Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers from 1988.
We watched Moonstalker from 1989. It's like Summer Camp Horror adjacent in that they're training summer camp counselors, but they're actually just camping. There's no like cabins or actual like it's a camp situation. We also watched Camp Blood, which in the name says it's a camp, but it's not a camp. They're just camping. So it's close, but it's not quite there.
Yeah, you could go back to 1941 and watch Spooks Run Wild. There's a lot of movies in this microgenre. They've made them a long time in the past. They keep making them to this day. It's a really dense microgenre. One of the things we do here is we define the microgenre by using tropes. So let's talk tropes.
The interesting thing about talking about the tropes of the Summer Camp Horror microgenre is that the tropes of the Summer Camp Horror microgenre are the tropes of modern horror.
Think of like the Scream rules, right? Like Scream laid it out, right? If you are having sex and doing drugs, then you're gonna get killed.
You can never have sex.
Or if you tell your friends that you're going to be right back, you're going to get killed.
I'll be right back.
So that kind of shit, that gets codified in Summer Camp Horror. It all starts to happen right here.
Let's talk about the tropes that are specific to the Summer Camp
they
Horror
bring
microgenre.
they bring more than just the
Oh,
ones.
no, you can talk now. Let's talk about the tropes that... Let's talk about the tropes that are specific to the Summer Camp Horror microgenre. Craig, hit me with one. Let's go.
When you're always gonna find fucked up families.
That sounds frightening. Tell me all about it.
So you're gonna have moms who are killing people to avenge her son.
What you did to him. Look what you did to him.
You're gonna have a story about a guy who killed his whole family and now is going on a rampage and killing campers.
He walked across the hall to his daughter's room, and without so much as a word, he chopped her into little pieces too.
There's always going to be some kind of messed up familial connection here that's driving some of the horror and mayhem that we're seeing.
You see, I've always wanted a little girl, But of course, when my husband left... Oh, well, that's all water under the bridge, as I always say. Water under the bridge.
Craig.
Wait, hold on. Let me be in the show. Can I be in the show too?
Craig,
Jazz.
let's have a themed drink to go with our microgenre.
Let's do it.
Here's what you're going to need to do this. You're going to need some beer, you're going to need a hard alcohol of your choice, and you're going to need some Post-it notes.
Post-it notes.
And you fill it halfway up with the booze of your choice. You're going to take your camping beer of choice.
Ooh.
Pour that right on top of your shot.
Oh boy.
Here's where the magic happens. 2 pieces of Post-it note per shot, and then you put your little tent on top of your shot.
Oh.
You
It's
need to
easy to do. It's really easy.
you need to hold your tent
Because camping tent.
because you're camping, and then you shoot it.
But my tent's in the way.
Hold it from the bottom. Camping.
We're getting wild now.
Craig, let's talk about another trope of the summer camp.
Summer cramp.
Wow. Another trope of the summer camp horror microgenre.
Let's talk about one you can't avoid. You can't get around it. It's called horrific harassment.
You're talking about pranksters. You're talking about peepers. You're talking about perverts.
Yeah, in these movies, you got men pranking the women they would like to get with. They're sometimes shooting arrows at them.
Ta-da!
Are you crazy?
You know, you're beautiful when you're angry, sweetheart.
Or maybe they're peeping.
You are sick, you know that? You are really sick.
Wait a minute, what's going on here?
Alfred's been prowling around the girls' shower.
There's all kinds of weird sexual harassment shit going on here.
It's the 80s. People are debilitatingly horny.
Yeah, and it gets real uncomfortable and weird.
Wait till you get a load of Judy.
Man, oh man!
Let's talk about more. Let's define it more. Give me another trope.
How do you feel about West Coast hardcore?
I mean, it's cool and all, but like, we want to talk about...
East Coast hardcore.
This is some serious East Coast shit going on in these movies.
All these kids are going camping up in upstate New York.
Yeah, they're in New Jersey. They're in upstate New York. There are accents galore.
Peter started it. I did not, you liar.
Richie, come on, Richie. Come on. Move it, Richie.
I'm moving.
Did too.
Look, I asked for lubricated rubbers. These aren't lubricated rubbers, you understand that?
Did not.
Takes these paper bags, see? He fills them with dog shit.
All right, let's settle down and stop fighting.
These are East Coast settings. It's very distinctly East Coast. Let's talk about like a real obvious one, right? Give me an obvious trope.
Bloodbath and Beyond.
Yeah, you're talking about...
We're talking about kids in showers.
Yeah, we're talking... kids. Gross. Oh, God.
Michelle, is that you?
You know, young people in showers.
Nothing turns me on like a nice shower. All steamy and soapy and hot.
There's a lot of bathing and shower scenes in these movies.
And listen, they're about to get murdered or you're about to think they're going to get murdered.
Somebody's going to have to take all their clothes off and get showers. Why would they ever want to do that? Why are these movies so concerned with cleanliness?
They're not concerned with kids that are missing.
Stop saying kids. It makes it gross.
These are movies about children played by 35-year-old adults.
Well, I mean, obviously the people playing them are super old. Hey, Jess.
Hey, Craig.
Let's do another trope, right? That's what we do here.
I got a great one for you.
Sure.
It's called insert here.
I don't understand what that means.
See, in these movies, there's lots of tight, close shots of feet. Or hands doing something.
It's like weirdly kind of modern in that, like, it's almost like Edgar Wright zooming in on the hand on the weapon, or like showing the feet walking, weirdly grounding and establishing you in this kind of milieu.
Dudes like John Carpenter were like, hey, there's this big scary guy. I don't want to show him to you, so I'm just going to show you his feet. And then everybody's like, well, I guess we just show feet a lot.
So we just cut in on those hands and those feet. Yeah, you're right. That's true. Yeah, that's the thing.
Craig,
Jazz.
Let's have another trope.
How about this one? Misdirection section.
Sounds like a good name, but what's it all about?
So, you know how, like, in Giallo movies, you've
Okay.
seen those?
Yeah.
They were kind of murder mysteries, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know who the killer was, or at least they didn't want you to know.
Hello? Who's that? Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
So these kind of do that a little bit too. They
Okay.
try to throw you off. They show you a character acting crazy. Maybe they're the killer.
You never really know what's in my mind at any given time. You never know if I'm thinking rationally or if I've created some other reality.
This guy's the killer.
Maybe there's a character who accuses another character of being the killer. Maybe that kid's the killer.
How are you gonna do it this time? Another drowning or something worse?
What are you talking about? Let me go!
I saw you those times. In a rec room at the water fight, you killed them.
So the film creators are trying to throw you off the scent.
Like, only kind of. They're kind of into it and kind of not. Like, the whole mystery thing.
That makes sense. Talk to me, baby.
Jazz.
Trench.
Jazz.
Rut.
Jazz.
Gutter.
Jazz.
Punks.
Jazz.
Yeah.
How do we even wrap up a microgenre like summer camp horror? Like, how do we even bring this home?
It's hard to wrap up a microgenre like summer camp horror because it includes so many of both of our favorite 80s horror films. You got movies like Friday the 13th, which is kind of the jumping off point for 80s horror. You got a movie like The Burning, which is a fantastic movie, albeit...
like a total knockoff. Like, how does something that's a total ripoff still be good? Summer camp horror just fucking proves that you can do that. You can rip shit off over and over again, add your own energy to it. Take Sleepaway Camp. It's like these other movies, but totally fucking unique. Basically, it's what every 80s horror slasher movie does, which is repeat certain tropes really hard over and over and over, but add their own energy, their own take, their own style, to somehow still make it fun. How does that all work? It seems like it shouldn't.
Wait a second. Craig, is summer camp horror the jazz of horror films?
Like, you lay out a certain format, but you do your own riff on it on your own way?
Like,
I think summer camp horror is the jazz of the horror genre.
Who's the John Coltrane of summer camp horror?
Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
Yeah. This doesn't matter.
I don't know anything about jazz.